Hello, everyone. As you can see, I'm being burnt, sweating profusely, heavy V2K. But I came on here. I've been waiting 30 minutes on a person for an interview. He stood me up once. I got stood up again. Looks like I've been waiting 30 minutes and he didn't show. So I said, you know what? I'm still going to do a video. Okay, about Brian too. Some people said, oh, it's strange that you put that up. No, Brian too called me from Turkey. And after our conversation, he said, can you let everybody know I'm okay? I'm in Turkey, what my circumstances are. That's all. He wasn't asking for money. He wasn't asking for nothing like that. He just wanted me to give an update. I was just letting it know. Some people said, oh, sounds like a scam. And then some people said, oh, that's strange. Why is he going to Russia? I don't know why he's going to Russia. I know he's trying to seek asylum from American government torturing him. But I don't know nothing but what he told me, and he asked me to pass a message on. All I did was deliver a message. Brian, I've been in touch with Brian for about a year now. He sent me books, Christian books, and his information has helped me out a lot. And he's never come off to me as a perp, at all. So, you know, so I don't know what to say about that. So all I can do is use my judgment, and all I did was pass the message on. So what I figured I was going to do is, while I was sitting there waiting 30 minutes, nobody showed up. I said, well, I'm going to do some information. I'm going to talk about verification and EEG cloning real quick. Um, but first I want to read a Psalm. It's Psalm 70, and I'm just going to read a few verses. Hasten, O God, to save me. Come quickly, Lord, to help me. May those who want to take my life be put to shame and confusion. May all who desire my ruin, be turned back in disgrace. May those who say to me, aha, aha, turn back because of their shame. But may all who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. May those who long for your saving help always say, the Lord is great. But as for me, I'm poor and needy. Come quickly to me, O God. You are my help and my deliverer. Lord, do not delay. Okay, so I'm going to talk about verification and EEG cloning just really, really quick. And then this is just basically an update video. Please pray for us. You know, um, Heavy V2K, heavy direct energy weapon attacks. And then, people standing me up on interviews to waste my time. But, that's going to happen. I expect that. So, and perps will be perps. You can't get away from it. I just need to put a better screening process in place for my interviews, I guess. Okay, they will constantly run you through a verification routine where the system probes you for a particular set of responses repeatedly in order to establish a pattern. If you are interacting and countering these probes, the operator will vary the routine in an attempt to verify via different methods. Once the system verifies the selected responses, they will be used in the next wave of harassment routines. The process is endless. For instance, if you keep responding out of fear, they will pinpoint them responses and use them in your next. They'll use them in the next time they torture you. If you keep a constant handle on your state activity as well as your situational perception, you will recognize conflicting impulses. And although it's possible for the system to overpower your impulses, if you understand the attacks, you will be able to recognize the physical changes resulting from these powerful impulses, and this should prompt you to reevaluate your current state. Okay. It's called verification. And what they want to do is they'll probe you for a response, street theater, whatever, just to get a response out of you to verify, your evoked potential brain signature, whatever you want to call it. I know it sounds deep, and I wish I could explain it better. I'm not as good as other people at explaining it, but I'm going to read it one more time, and then I'm going to read this about the cloning thing, the EEG cloning, because I feel like it's very important for us to get this through our head. Like I said, I was going to do an interview today, didn't do one, so I'm just doing a quick video. They will constantly run you through a verification routine where the system probes you for a particular set of responses repeatedly in order to establish a pattern. If you are interacting and countering these probes, The operator will vary the routine and attempt to verify via different methods. Once the system verifies the selected responses, they will be used in the next wave of harassment routines. The process is endless. If you keep a constant handle on your state of activity as well as your situational perception, you will recognize conflicting impulses. And although it is possible for the system to overpower your impulses. If you understand the attacks, you will be able to recognize the physical changes resulting from these powerful impulses, and this should prompt you to reevaluate your current state. This is called verification. EEG cloning uses strategic deception and mental manipulation to create errors of judgment and reasoning and vocabulary confusion by every means possible. However, they are targeting the autonomous systems of people's anatomy, forcing people to breathe and exhale involuntarily. That's just one example. They can do that to anybody, but that's just an example. They can make you breathe, exhale. They can make your legs jerk. They can make whatever they want to happen to you happen. Okay. The cloning experiments are used to create demented mind models, which create the worst mentally deranged psychopathology that today monsters could come up with. EEG cloning is most effective on subjects that are sensory deprived, which is why they constantly use sleep deprivation on people. Cloning someone's mind onto someone else's changes their personality and behavior, but in the best conditions, the entire body and will are taken over. Forced speech is one of the unsettling capabilities of the technology, the term used by people who have been given demonstrations of it. I've had a couple people in the comments say, well, they're taking over my body involuntarily, or they're making my body do this involuntarily. Well, chances are it's EEG cloning, and that's how they're making this happen. And the only, to counteract it, you need to try to be a good person, try to resist the impulses of rage, resist impulses of sex, or whatever impulses they're feeding you. The best way to describe what a Neuralink feels like in a medium intensity cloning signal, it is a cell phone call with the caller's voice, emotion, and some physical urges transferred while they speak. This is why many victims talk to themselves. They actually are talking to someone else. Everything you feel, they feel amplified, and vice versa. So it's kind of like this. It's like a psychic soldier sitting somewhere controlling. If you are a true EEG, if they have cloned your EEG, not everybody's EEG clone, but if they have cloned your EEG, you have another person who's controlling your. It's just, man, it's hard to explain. And I hope I'm not boring people with this. I really think this is important. If you're doing involuntary speech, involuntary movements, involuntary speech, for example, somebody's talking about something serious and then they make you bust out laughing, then the whole crowd looks at you, but you didn't laugh. They made you laugh. They forced you to laugh. The best way to describe what a Neuralink feels like in a medium intensity cloning signal, it is a cell phone call with a caller's voice, emotion, and some physical urges transferred while they speak. This is why many victims talk to themselves. They're actually talking to someone else. Everything you feel, they feel, amplified, and vice versa. They have developed a few brainwave filters for certain types of brain activity, but on the most part, you both are of one single mixed mind. EE cloning allows the psychic attackers to read every little fear that crosses your mind, and they are trained to use them against you, which is why they threaten people with death using synthetic telepathy. They may threaten you and do all kinds of stuff. EEG cloning can capture the moment of a guilty response or feeling, hold, and continuously replay those brain signals to try and stimulate the memories surrounding the associated response. I hope you're understanding stuff like that. I hope you're understanding. They just forced me to say stuff like that. I hope you're understanding this. This is why, they'll target the people with Christian faiths and they'll force synthetic telepathy conversations to probe people's memories. That's just an example. Controlling and reading a person's mind requires a program specifically with their cognitive configuration. This is the rationale behind the EEG cloning and cataloging operations. The RNM supercomputer, remote neural supercomputer, and hive mind teams can overpower your impulses. Unless you have been tortured to near incoherency, you should be able to fight the system's influences. And if you go to my video on how to beat remote neural monitoring, that tells you how to fight the system's influences. You know, I really think I think there's a supercomputer and handlers, human handlers, that are doing this as well. For instance, if I'm to, you know, if I go to the, let's see, if I'm doing something on the computer in the middle of the interview, they'll be like, well, this interview sucks. You might as well give up. Or you're doing a poor job at this interview. Or if I'm looking out a window at a gang stalker, oh, they're coming to get you. Well, surely the computer, I don't know somebody help me out if you understand V2K better than me. You know, I don't claim to know it all. I'm just, you know, I just share my experiences and my research. But yeah, so if I'm looking out the window at a gang stalker, or if I'm doing something like that, you know, how can they just know what I'm doing at that time and talk? That's why I think it's more than a supercomputer. I think sometimes it's human handlers behind the V2K. Not all the time, but I think sometimes. Because if I'm in doing something, or fixing to look out the window and I see a car, oh, they're coming to get you. Well, how would they know to say that? I guess the supercomputer might be that smart, might be that advanced. I'm just giving an example. Um, you know, I've been dealing with V2K for since 2015. I can tell you some ways I deal with it: multitasking, hand pan music. Hand pan music sets off a certain frequency. So anybody dealing with V2K, try that. And I'll put the link to the hand pan music in the description. But multitasking helps with remote neural monitoring as well. Also, control breathing in your nose, out your mouth. But when you breathe in your nose, you keep your mouth closed like this. It breaks brain entrainment. So anyway, I just did this video because I waited 30 minutes on somebody that didn't show. Um, you know, I wasn't gonna let it get me down today. Anyway, but I had something important to tell y'all, but they're really messing with my brain right now. That's why I have this hat on. By the way, if you get one of these hats, they stay in the freezer. And when you're getting burnt and sweating profusely and head's hot, you can put one of these on, and uh, it keeps you cool. So anyway, God bless all TI. Sorry there was no interview today. I know Onion Head Andrew will be back on Saturday, and then I'm hoping to schedule some for the next couple of days. If not, I'm working on some stuff to get some more interviews. And oh yeah, I got to read Project Soul Catcher, and I'll probably do that if I don't have an interview tomorrow. So anyway, God bless all TIs.